Have you heard of the new game Etheria Restart that's currently in beta? I am here to tell you about their gacha system and all things gacha and how you get those nice little pretty pulls. So let's get into it. Okay, so when you get to the Gamba system, this is basically what your screen is going to look like. And as a new player, you are probably going to start off with the targeted summon. The targeted summon guarantees that you get whatever SSR you have chosen within 40 summons. After testing this on others' accounts and accounts that I've rerolled, it seems to me that it has to be the 40th pull. I have not one single time out of those 7 different accounts gotten an SSR before the 40th pull. But not to say that it can't happen, but just be prepared for that. These are all the characters that you can select. It's basically every single SSR in the game, apart from your light and dark characters, who are in a whole nother category, and we can break that down later, but just know they're a little special. Hoyan is also not here. Hoyan has been removed from the game temporarily. I'm not sure if they're reworking her kit, but, you know, we shall see. Also, reset just happened. Okay, so moving on from this. So after you have summoned and pulled and gotten your target character, which also is really cool because you can pick and it'll change the background, and I think that's cool. Anyway, so once you have summoned and pulled and gotten the target character that you're looking for, which if you want a video going over what feels good to pick, what doesn't feel good to pick, what's really good in late game off of the selection banner, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to make a video based off of my experience and input from other content creators. Next, you're probably going to be looking towards the limited banners. Do you have to pull the limited banners? Absolutely not. That is completely up to your choice. However, if you're free to play a low spender and you're looking to pull on a limited banner, I would pull on Freya's banner, simply because, like the target summon, every pull is 100 crystals. 100 crystals that you can save up. You also get these purple pulls while you're playing the game. And I believe we also get like a 10 free pull for the pre-registration rewards, and I think there's a code as well that could possibly give us another 10. Not sure. Get back to you on that part. Which also means that, which I have one right now, so it's 1,000 Hydra crystals for a 10 pull. Much more price efficient, while, however, the pity on the limited banners, both of them are 100 pulls. So keep that in mind when you're considering to pull, because I have seen people have to go all the way to 100. However, I didn't have to go to 100. I think I hit Freya at like 70, I believe, which would be closer to hard pity in your other gacha games. However, here, I believe that's considered kind of like a soft pity. If you're free to play low spender, avoid this banner at all costs, simply for the reason that these summons are different than a normal summon, and if you are looking to buy them with crystals, it costs 300 crystals per pull and 3,000 for 10 pull. However, both limited banners, I wanted to say this loud and clear, you are guaranteed to get the character on the banner, at least the first time you pull. And it's the same thing for Messiah. However, like I said, if you're free to play low spender, I would avoid this at all costs because it is 3 times the amount of crystals that you would be saving up. And I specify crystals because, again, you cannot use the standard pulls that you do earn in game. Next, we're going to take a look at the permanent banner. So the permanent banner is actually different from the current gachas, the popular gachas that we have now, like Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, etc. Where it's different is that every single SSR character in the game is in the standard banner, including the limited banner. So every single time a new limited banner comes out, they will immediately be added to the permanent summon, as far as I'm aware. If that changes, of course, I will update you. So what that looks like is this. So you have your standard elemental characters that aren't light and dark. Consider them like wind, water, fire. That's basically how I consider them, because then it's easier to visualize what their element looks like and how they counter each other. but more about that later. So the rate of those characters of original Animuses are 0.75%, and there are 17 of them. Then you have what's called the Apex Animuses. Now these characters, the light and dark characters, they are a little bit stronger, a little bit better than these characters, but they are not make or break the game worthy. There are plenty of characters that are just as strong, if not maybe a little under what these characters can do. So fear not. If you're free to play or a low spender and you don't get any of these characters on the standard banner, it is not the end of the world. You can still do all the content. You can still do the PvP. This is not going to make or break your account. It just makes it better if you happen to pull it. But yes. Okay. Moving on from that, there is a banner called Extre-Affinity Summon. Now this summon is special because you can only pull light or dark characters on it with a 1% chance to do so. And there is an 80 pity on this. And I should also mention that on the standard banner as well, there's an 80 pity. So 100 pity for the limited banners, 40 for your targeted summon, and then 80 pulls for the permanent summons and the Extre-Affinity summons, which I believe is also another permanent banner. So again, if you pull on this, yes, you can get only light or dark characters. However, this is different. So it uses the same pulls as your limited light banner that's currently running. However, it's different because your limited light banner, as I showed you, you can exchange Hydra crystals to get the pull, if you so wish to. On this banner, you cannot do that, as you can see. This banner, you can only do it with these pulls, which you can only get by buying packs in the store, unfortunately, which makes this banner not ideal for free-to-play or low spenders at all, and I would avoid it unless you just happen to have a little extra money in your pocket and you want to throw a 10 pull at it. Because with all the packs and the weekly stuff in the shop, if you were to buy all of that, that's only equals to about 35 pulls for this limited banner, which is obviously not enough to even hit hard pity if you had to go to hard pity. It's not even enough to hit what I would consider soft pity. So, keeping that in mind, let's switch accounts and take a look at my paid account that's a lot further progressed than my free-to-play here, as you can see. Scotty free. Sorry. Daily reset. As you can see, Scotty free. So, let's switch over and I'll show you where you can earn those pulls. So as you can see, we're on my paid account that is a lot higher level and a lot more invested into it. I'm not going to show you the shop because I kind of just went over that. You can get some packs like $10 packs or 99-cent packs that'll give you like 10 pulls and etc, etc. If you are interested in checking out the shops and want a specific video on the breakdown of those, I will be more than happy to show you. Just let me know down below. Okay, so getting into the actual game of how you can earn things. So these are your daily quests, and this goes up by level. And as you complete them, I believe like once or twice I've seen crystals or a pull here. So that's another like good example of ways you can earn it. And these are really easy. This is just basically doing everything you do in game period. And as you notice, it's 1 out of 24, but you only have to do 12 to gain your whole daily limit. So that means that you don't have to summon Animuses every single day, for example. And then you also have your weekly quests, which I've completed all of them. Super, super easy. Again, you only have to complete 12 out of the 18. And I did get some like crystals and or pulls on this as well. Then we have the daily commission. Now, this is a separate thing that we'll talk about when we get into that. So if you're looking for what to expect when you first log into a game as far as free resources and free things that you get, let me know. I would love to make a video on that. And, but yes, you can get some crystals. I got pulls here, and there's a phase 2 where you can get a special kind of pull, and it opens a special kind of banner where you can only get an SSR with a pull. So free SSRs all around. Okay, so moving past that, we'll take a look at the events. So you have your festive rewards. I wouldn't really include this for free to play or low spenders because it is expensive. I only spent money in the game because I was gifted by a dear friend of mine who knew that I was in a financially tight situation but wanted me to experience the game. So shout out to the friend. I love you. Okay, moving on. I'm going to skip Animus reconfigure for now. We'll go over that in a later video. So we're looking at like events like this, which is Candy Party. You can get crystals or pulls within these, usually for the little balls at the end. And it does show you all that. And again, we'll go over specific rewards later. This is just for gacha pulls and crystals. You have your 7-day check-in, and I don't know if they're going to continue this for live servers. I really hope that they do, because this is amazing. This is 40 pulls that you get for logging in for 7 days. So I really hope that this is not just a beta thing. I hope they do this every patch, but I know that's probably a little bit too much to ask. So we'll just put this in the gray area of it could be live or it could just be a beta thing. You have your task progress, which you can see that I've claimed, but if I click on all these, you can see that I did get pulls. I got 12 pulls in total for just doing story, not including the crystal rewards I got for doing the story. Then you have like lethal pursuit and stuff, which I haven't gotten everything unlocked because some things are locked behind level. But as you go through and you unlock them and play the game, when you complete them for the first time on hard, you do get 100 crystals per each one you complete. Then there is something called Threshold that is clearing other bosses on the harder level. I did clear them already on hard, so I've gotten the rewards for those, and it has changed to Nightmare difficulty now, which gives more crystals. I believe the first normal reward was something like this. So yeah, but I think as you go up, you do get more rewards for those first time clears. Then you have Invertrack, which I have not unlocked yet, but it has crystal rewards, as you can see, for every single thing that you complete. This one has a 10 pull, which is really cool. This is a rainbow pull, which is an SR or SSR if you're really lucky. And then you've got some like gear and stuff, which again, we'll go over in a later video. Then you have Summon Arena. This is your PvP, and these are for your rank rewards where they're costumes. So if we ignore those, just for playing, you do get 200 crystals in total. Again, that's a one-time thing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a one-time thing. Then you have Hyperlink and Bytes. These each had crystals on them, so you got 200 in total, and you literally just click them and it gives you the crystals, which is really nice. And there's also this one, I believe, that gave 50 crystal. It might have been more than that, but I'll say 50 to 200 because I can't remember the exact amount. This is an event that you can play that you can in fact get pulls in, so that's really cool. I haven't unlocked these two yet, so I have no idea like what rewards those could give, but yes. So there's that. There's this victory betting where you bet who's going to win. You can get rewards off of it, but as it goes, you do spend coin for that you earn, which is free, but can get expensive. I think it's like 250,000, which is kind of crazy. I should have done it, but gamble. This is your union for weekly quests that you do. You do get 50 crystals in a pull here, and then some other supplies. So this is another place that you can get a pull, or pull and crystals every week. And then you have your union shop as well. I believe this resets every week. So as long as you're doing your union stuff, you can actually redeem for 3 pulls every week here, which is really nice. You have Arena. This is your PvP. I just started PvP, so please ignore my ranks. It's fine. My teams are copium. It's okay. Okay, so for doing this, you do get rewards. So you get this currency here, and then there are rank up rewards where you get the currency. There's a Messiah skin as well for reaching platinum. So yeah, you get some cool rewards as it goes. There's also rank rewards. So this is kind of your reason to play. But as you can see, even if you're only iron in PvP, you do get a set amount of weekly rewards, which is 150 crystals. And then at the end of the season, which I don't know how long a typical season will last because we're in the beta, so of course it's going to last the length of the beta, but at the end of the season you also get an additional 300 crystals. So every week 150, and then at the end 300. I think you just have to play to make sure that it, you know, sets you an iron. And then you have the individual ranking rewards for what number you fall. If you do happen to get high enough, you do get an additional crystal reward and light and dark pulls. You can buy 2 pulls per week from this currency, which is like 500 in total, which really isn't hard to do because as long as you play 1 game a week, you're already getting 600 currency, which again, as a reminder, these are 250 apiece. So play 1 game of PvP a week in Etherena and you get 2 pulls there. This is called Summon Arena. This is where you face actual PvP people. Like, it's all PvP. The last one is like you're facing their defending team, not a real person. This one you're facing a real person. And it has its own rewards as well. As you can see, with its own currency, rank up rewards. And then this is more crystal for you as you go. This one's different. You don't get weekly rewards. You only get season settlement rewards. But again, even if you're just an iron at the very bottom, you can still get 200 per season, which is nothing to scoff at. At least it's, you know, it's crystals, it's things you use for pulling. Then, of course, you have your ranking rewards. These tickets are on a whole different set that we're not going to be discussing right now. We'll discuss it in a later video. And then you have your light and dark pulls that you can earn there as well. And then for this shop is a separate shop than Etherena. You can actually earn the light and dark pulls within the Summit Arena shop that resets, I don't know how often, but I'm taking it because this is how much time the beta has left, and everything that resets in a week has that week timer. So I'm assuming this resets every season, which is unfortunate. But as a free-to-play player or low spender, that does mean that you can actually earn 5 of these per season for just playing and earning the currency. And you can earn 10 of these per season. So you're looking at 2,500 tokens that you have to earn, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So doing your quest rewards, which probably reset every season, that's already 600. And then the rest would just be like earning iron right here. Actually, even without the quest rewards, right? You play 1 match, you get an iron, you end the season, you get 3,200, and then you can exchange for what's in the shop. So pretty easy for free to play low spender. Actually, I take back what I was saying. This one is called Fearless Arena. This is basically like a tourney style that they're going to hold every weekend. That's random. You can do whatever. The rewards here are basically just competing in the tournament. And you only get crystals for reaching the semifinal or being like 2nd place for that. And then you get your light and dark here. But I do think your brackets are based around you. So another place you could earn crystals and pulls are in achievements. Now, as I claim them, the rewards obviously disappear, but you can get things like crystals. You can get pulls, gold, more pulls. Like this one, for every section that you complete, you get a pull straight off the bat. Here is every section you get crystal. Development, every section you get a pull. Collect, again, a pull, and then as you can see here, there's more pulls. Coin, but you get crystals here. This is for your shell, crystals, pulls, treasure hunter. This is just for collecting the chests, because there are chests in the story, and it tells you how many, which is really nice. You get crystals for collecting all the chests, as you can see here, and then once you get all the achievements unlocked, you do get crystals for each section you unlock. This is your journey, so like you're leveling and everything like that, you get crystals, crystals and supplies. Obviously, this is not something that's repeatable, but I did want to mention it if you're curious about when you start the game, what kind of things are possible. Oh, well, you have your battle pass as well. So, obviously I've been claiming it, but you can see here, like, well, I can't click it, but these are like crystal rewards. So obviously on the pay track, you are going to get more than you do on the free track, but you do get crystals, you do get regular pulls within this free track, which is really, 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 really nice. So, yeah. So just to tell you, get a lot of cool things, even if you don't buy the battle pass. And of course, if you are a low spender, I would recommend buying the battle pass as well as the monthly pass, because that is always the way to like top out your maximum of what you can get as a low spender. I'll see you guys later. Please like, comment, subscribe again if you guys like this video. Commenting really helps the algorithm, so if you found it helpful in any way, I would really appreciate it. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!